Where people are ideas. The choices people make, how they treat each other, and how they deal with problems show who they are. When you observe characters, you can get ideas about life. Those are themes. Accessibility.
Writers like Maribel have something to say. Maribel uses characters to develop her theme. Let's take a look at Maribel's story. Maribel the pirate was new to the crew of treasure hunters. She and the crew searched the island for treasure. Maribel broke away from the pirates while they slept, and she found the treasure they were after. Maribel realized she could escape from this nasty crew of pirates, but Maribel had pledged to share any treasure she found. That was the pirate's code. So she gave the diamond to the pirate captain. The captain was surprised.
"Arg! Why didn't you keep the treasure? Me mates would never have known."
I thought about taking it, but it would be unfair to everyone else. I'm part of your team.
The captain praised Maribel for her integrity. He realized Maribel was someone he could trust. Maribel used her character's actions and what the other characters said about her to create a strong characterization. And the way that character behaved suggests a theme. Behaving with integrity creates trust and reaps rewards.
Character types and theme. Not all types of characters have the same type of influence on a story. Some may be complex main characters, others may oppose the main character, others may be less fully developed but help shape the plot and theme. Learn about the various characterization strategies fiction writers have at their disposal. Accessibility. Closed captioning.
Hi-oh! It's Olivia. It's raining, so I'm gonna stay in and put together this jigsaw puzzle. It's gonna be a picture of puppies. I love puppies. It doesn't look like puppies now, but the more pieces I put together, the more I'll see the whole picture. It got me thinking about how an author develops a story's theme. It's kind of like a puzzle. You take a character and add up some traits to make a characterization. Those characterizations can play a big part in determining the theme of a story. The theme is the main message an author wants to communicate. To show you what I mean, let's put together one character's puzzle. Characters are made up of what they say and do. The choices characters make and how they treat people also make up who they are. Those traits equal a characterization, or a complete picture of a character. That picture gives us an idea of the story's theme. Now, let's piece together the puzzle of Ebenezer Scrooge, the main character in Charles Dickens's novel, A Christmas Carol. We'll split up characterization into two types, direct and indirect. Direct characterization is what the narrator or another character says about a character. In the beginning of the story, the narrator calls Scrooge hard and sharp as flint, from which no steel had ever struck out generous fire. That means that Scrooge is stingy and mean. At the end of the book, the narrator says Scrooge became as good a friend, as good a master, and as good a man as the good old city knew. So by the end of the story, Scrooge is kind and generous. An indirect characterization is something that the character himself says or does in the story. In the beginning, Scrooge refuses to give money to the poor for Christmas. That goes along with being stingy and mean. But at the end of the story, Scrooge gives a lot of money to the poor. A perfect match to being kind and generous. We have two pieces for who Scrooge was at the beginning of the story, and two pieces for who Scrooge was at the end. Put those pieces together and we get a clearer view or understanding of the theme of the story. In this case, the theme of the story is, it's never too late to change. Look, it stopped raining. I said I'd finish this puzzle, but now I'll go outside for a bike ride. I guess I'd rather get out and enjoy the sunshine while I can. How's that for indirect characterization?
Key concept. Analyzing the theme of a literary work means trying to understand the idea or ideas that the author wants to communicate. To do so, you must understand the work's characters and the way the author uses them. Begin by reviewing some keywords. Flip by
Characterization. The suffix ization means making something or the development of something. Example, Grandma Kay was soft-spoken and gentle. No matter how rowdy the grandkids became, she never raised her voice. When her youngest grandson shattered the pot holding her favorite African violet, she said only, "Oh dear, please get the broom." Protagonist. Protagonist comes from Greek words meaning an actor of first importance. Example, in a mystery story, the detective is frequently the protagonist. The story focuses on the detective trying to solve the mystery. Antagonist. Antagonist comes from a Greek word meaning to struggle against. In a mystery story, the criminal is frequently the antagonist. The criminal commits a crime and may try to prevent the detective from solving the crime. Complex character. Something that is complex is made up of many different parts. Example, at the beginning of a story, Tommy hates having his little brother hang around, but his little brother has a great idea to help Tommy and his friends build their treehouse, and by the end of the story, Tommy appreciates his little brother in a new way. Direct characterization. Characterization, character traits, indirect characterization. Example, he was tall and thin with a brown beard. Indirect characterization. Characterization, character traits, direct characterization. Example, I ain't never had much use for schoolin', the woman said. Too much work to be done on the farm. Her brother shook his head. We both had the chance to go to school. She didn't want to go. She'd rather be out in the fields.